Welcome once again to the final weekly of the Weekly Weeklies. To do with the weeklies, brought to you by Hi-Rez. I am Hindu Man. Alongside me today is the glorious Kret. How are you doing, Kret?
Am I glorious or inglorious? Which one
I
is
don't
it,
know.
man? Okay, that's true. I am a little enigmatic. I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing, Hindu man?
I'm a little bit tired, can't lie. But the good
Take a
news
nap.
is the best way. I can't take a nap because we've got exciting games ahead of
Oh,
us
that's
once
what I'll be
again.
doing.
Team Intoxicated up against Wasted Talent in the round one match. We've only got 19 teams today, but some of these teams that are on the table and going to be competing are very, very strong. Mixtures of some other players we've seen before, as well as some top teams potentially going to Worlds.
Yeah, and some top teams potentially going to worlds that have really bad seeding.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, Aquila, the number one EU Worlds team going to the World Championships, is seeded 14th. Because in EU, seeding doesn't matter.
And everything's made up, especially the meta.
No, the meta's not that bad. Meta's kind of standard over in EU. It's not too
Yeah,
bad.
North America's pretty made up right now,
It's
actually.
it's kind of like NA stole EU's idea of let's mess up the meta, and EU's like, look at these idiots. Look at these idiots trying what we used to do.
Yeah.
That's so cute. It's so cute. But now we know the best meta. Anyway, we're into picks and bans. As you can see, Team Intoxicate on the left, Wasted Talent on the right. Raw, Vulcan bans out, and Thor and Circuit in response by Wasted Talent. Team Intoxicated first pick. Sylvanas still on the table. And actually looking through what's available, that's probably the only thing that could be really trying to early pick up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Sylvanas isn't a compulsory pick, right? He's
Very
like,
true.
you can do it if you want to. So Freya hovered on for first pick, I guess. I mean, it's a little early, but first picking Freya is something that people have been doing for literal years. So, whatever.
Well, Fred does get locked in, and we've not. Fred's kind of come down a little bit since the change to banish. That was the only thing that was changed was the how quickly they fall to the ground after being banished. And after that, we've seen her slowly drop out of competitive play, or at least
Yeah, it's been great.
enjoyed
Really
that.
nice. Yeah, no, it's really good. Honestly, I mean, the change to banish was good because she was getting too much damage off of that banish for free, and it was a little too good at setting stuff up like Freya Ra. I mean, it basically made her jungle work when her jungle is kind of bad, just conceptually. Like, she's not a good ganker. She's not really safe in the jungle. Her clear's pretty good though. Um, so that banish brought her a little bit too much, and Freya should be a little bit like Sylvanas, like Zeus, where it's like, yeah, what she brings is really good, but she's hard to implement.
Hard to implement, but she's been picked up here. We see Sylvanas and Carly picked up along the way by Wasted Talent. That screams danger to me. Like roots
Yeah.
up to the nines from Sylvanas, followed by Carly diving in, and everyone's starting to realize now Carly is, back. Few little buffs along the way, and now she's back.
She's very good. I mean, still has the problem of weak early game presence. Just people have learned to deal with a little bit more. And Sylvanas and Apollo will definitely make up for that, having a lot of push in the duo lane. I think Wasted Talent just needs like a good mid lane pick, and they'll be all right.
Something to an extent, something tanky in the mid lane might be quite helpful for them, or very early game
Genre.
focused. Yeah, Zhonga would be great here, but there's Nemesis along the way as we're going into their side. So picking Zhong into Nemesis isn't necessarily the best idea in the world. Giannis picked up though for Team Intoxicated 2, and now we're into the counterban phase where we see Geb taken off the table. Kind of expected after you take Sylvanas, you look to take away the other
Sure.
AoE team ultimate that's available in the Guardian role.
Well, and especially Geb is very good at protecting Freya. You don't want anyone protecting Freya, so that's good. Wasted Talent. So Yanis is a little bit of a weaker mid laner in the early game. He doesn't have as much clear. He's pushed a little bit. So Wasted Talent, if they just pick like a relatively more aggressive early game mid laner, I mean, this is Europe, so there's not really much Isis played, but Isis would be good. Agni just banned away would have been a decent choice. So something with just a little bit more push would be good. But we're having some technical issues with the picks and bans, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Welcome back, boys and girls. We are back underway. Picks and bans going on again. There was a bit of a An issue with picks and bans. Hashtag blame Hindu. That's fine. I'll take it on the chin. Team player. You know. That's me.
Yeah. What's wrong with you, Hindu? What are you doing? We
Absolutely
got a
nothing.
tournament to run, dude.
I'm sorry.
And you're over here doing nothing, breaking things. I'm hungry. I could be eating waffles right now. And I'm here with you, spending time with you, and this is how you repay me? Aw, it's okay, buddy. You're so cute when you get like that.
I was actually upset now, but I was like, oh, he could be eating waffles, and instead he's stuck here with me, going through picks and bans again. But hey, we're through the first part of the picks and bans, which is good because we already got this far last time.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have a little bit of a Sisyphusian.
What is with the long words?
labor.
Like you were doing this yesterday as well when I tuned in.
I
Like, I have
don't
the
know.
vocabulary. I'm just gonna go, and everyone's gonna go, what?
You've never heard of the myth? All right, he's the guy in Greek hell. Our game is about mythologies. The guy in Greek hell with the boulder, he pushes up the hill and it rolls back down. That's picks and bans. We're just gonna be doing this forever. We get one more ban than we DC.
Why don't you just say that then instead of whatever you said? Like, there's no reason for that.
Sisyphusian?
Yeah, see, who uses that word in common English? Who?
People
Apart
who
from
went to
you.
college to major in philosophy.
We don't have colleges like you have colleges. Colleges are for kids. Universities is what we go to, my friend.
I actually went to a university. It's not a college. My university had colleges.
Why did you say college? Anyway, we're in picks and bans. I can't talk to this guy anymore. He's
It's
so
a
frustrating.
colloquialism.
See, here we go with the long words that you don't need to say.
Listen, I
words
can't
aren't
help
needed.
that I'm an expansive and eclectic idiolect, alright? I can't.
I
I'm
almost wanna
from
drop my headset there.
Connecticut.
Sobek and Sun Wukong. That's a good topic to get back onto. What a crazy two last picks that we don't generally see that
Yeah.
often.
I feel like Sobek's actually really good against Sylvanas.
And Kali.
And Kali, yeah, great peel to deal with Kali. If you get that, pluck away from your team, you can really just disrupt her attempt at killing anybody. Sun Wukong in the solo lane is really good against mages, and look at that, he's against a mage. So, that could be really good, because the thing about Sun Wukong solo is you level your cudgel and you hit the mage over and over and over and over and over again. Forever. It's a good plan.
I mean, the Sobek pick I like because it obviously against Kali does do healing reduction when she uses her ultimate as well, so she doesn't get as much of a heal back, which means she's a little bit easier to kill. Obviously against Sylvanas in lane, he's pretty good at keeping the sustain down, even on the creeps as well, because obviously just when you threes those creeps, it also stops their regeneration, which means that when the wisps come out, that also stops the lane push. However, he's got Apollo alongside him anyway. I think Sobek Freya lane is going to have a hard time clearing. A real hard time clearing.
It might, but I think when Nemesis shows up to gank, Sylvanas is dead for free.
Oh, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, you just pull him out of position, he can't do anything about it. Divine Judgment, dead tree, Rip Grover.
potentially could be Scylla solo and new Ahmed.
It should be. It should be.
I'd probably look at doing that just because then you have Scylla safely farming away until late game, and realistically, she's got better escapes than War does against Sun Wukong with the Sentinel.
You still will get poked and have a rough time, but I'd say it would be better. It just sort of depends on how Team Intoxicated solo laner is playing today. Maybe he's hungover, maybe he's not. We'll see.
Guys, we'll be right back with game one. Once these guys get themselves through the loading screen, we'll bring you all the action from this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to game one of this week's final weekly of the final weeklies this year. Presented by Hi-Rez, I'm Hinduman. Craig alongside me. We have today Wasted Talent up against Team Intoxicated. Intoxicated on the blue side, the bottom half of the map, the left-hand side of your spectator UI. And on the right-hand side, we're going to see Wasted Talent. And early on in this one, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, is Christmas next week? It is, isn't it?
It's 10 days away.
Wow. Time flies when you're
I have a spectator
casting.
issue. It's a
I
nose.
do too. We're gonna be back in just a few minutes, guys, as we sort out this issue.
Apologies.
Just stay tuned.
Attempt number 2, pretend the last 3 minutes of your life, or maybe even 30 seconds of your life, did not exist. And then take this one over again. We are back live. Team Intoxicate versus Wasted Talent. Intoxicate on the left-hand side of the map. The bottom half of the spectator... Sorry, the bottom half of the map. Left-hand side of the spectator UI. Right-hand side will be Wasted Talent, starting from the top half of the map. And earlier in this one, I wonder if we'll see any aggression, Crat.
Well, you know, Sobek has a great early game, so I would expect something out of Intoxicated, but it's actually going to be Sylvanas here. Finding a root on the sausage. A lot of damage.
Bird form.
Okay, so that's actually a loss for Intoxicated, because you don't want to start with bird form.
Well, no, you don't, but I mean, in this situation here, at least he got himself out of trouble. It is definitely a loss.
Yeah. It's
it won't
better
hurt him
than
too
dying.
much. It won't hurt him too much in the laning phase, just because he'll still be able to get his 1 at level 2 and still be able to clear the wave, but just not as effectively as early on. And I guess he knows he's going to be against this new Warren lane, so he wouldn't have probably took his. Would he have taken it? Would he have taken his transformations at level 4? Would you say?
Depends. I think
it?
It depends on if the jungler stays or goes and how much pressure they get in the first few clears, whether you get your 2 or your 3. And it's just sort of like, I feel like if you're under pressure, or if you have a lot of pressure, you're going to get your 3, your transformation, because it's your kill potential and your escape. And if not, then you get your 2, but, well, now we know he's forced into it, probably picking up his 1, after that. Freya taking a lot of poke in an attempt to steal a mid camp, and down to just 100 health, will have a lot of trouble in the laning phase, not able to get blue.
She started 3 health potions, though. She did start 3 health potions, so she should be able to regen this back up. It will hurt a little bit. They've just got to be careful of how much poke they take in this early transition. So it's okay for now, but they will be under pressure without that blue buff.
Well, they're also down in experience, and they're against a much harder pushing lane. There's a lot of invade potential here from Wasted Talent.
I'll see if they abuse that with the speed buff. But, I mean, right now on the right-hand side, you can see Nemesis has already rotated out of this solo lane early on at level 2. Going to swing mid lane and pick up some farm here, I think. And it also helps to protect this, I guess, this potential speed buff invade that you were just talking about.
Right, well, it's not even just the speed buff invade, it's also the blue buff invade. And Wasted Talent should identify that blue buff has not been taken, since you don't see the ring on Sobek or Freya. So if they can pressure that soon, that would be really good. Instead, they're just going to go back and get their own blue buff. And speed will not be invaded. It will go to Cherio and Kurosento. No problem.
Yeah, speed goes over. Sobek's going to rotate around for this blue buff now with the help of Frey. They pushed out that wave, and the pressure's released for now. As you can see, Carly and Scylla doing the same thing on their side, going for that red buff now. Red buff still stands, though, for Team Intoxicate to take when they get a chance to, and that'll probably be given over to Giannis just before these mid-camp spawn, I expect.
It's a huge missed opportunity coming out from Wasted Talent there if they had invaded. I mean, part of the problem is that they have a Kali jungle and a Scylla middle, which does not apply very much pressure in the early game, but Sylvanas and Paulo might have been able to carry that invade, so.
Oh, checking back in with Sausage in the solo lane up against Death Panther in this one. And with him going for this Stone of Gaia rush, Emerald Talisman, he could just leave that at rank 2 now, and just, he's only really going to start worrying about physical damage dealers, as he's got enough for now to deal with Scylla and New War, at least until mid-game.
Very true. It will cost him some of his early clear. That extra 15 physical power on Death Soul makes a lot more of a difference than you would expect. Looks like Sausage is maxing his 2 first, which honestly doesn't make that much sense in solo lane because you could be poking. But that's what he's going to like to do, and it will give him slightly... Does it even give him better clear? I don't think it does give him better clear now that Magic Cudgel does 20% more damage.
Well, quick back to base for Giannis there. He's going to get himself ready for these mid-camps. They'll be spawning in about 30 seconds time. Nemesis hanging around, still on full health. Carly has based as well, so she's got boots 2 online. Mid-camp's due to spawn. Right, it's going to be a slightly ahead of the left ones, just by a little bit, just because of that early invade. So we'll see if the fight breaks out on left, or they're going to hang around for the right ones.
Yeah, it doesn't give him better clear. That's weird. Yeah, mid-camp's coming up in about 5 seconds. It looks like both teams just a little bit late to Kali. Will probably be able to pick up the right side. She has more vertical mobility than Nemesis, able to jump, and now Nemesis sitting over the right means that they're going to lose the left. Yeah, it's a critical mistake coming out from Intoxicated, and down a lot of gold.
It's a surprise. Oh, that pull nearly comes out.
Very close.
Sylvanas there. Sobek could have been a bit of trouble, but he is Sobek, so he probably would be able to get out of trouble if required. He's going to return to lane now. Apollo needs to watch his position a little bit, but he is level 5 here, and it looks like they might go for some aggression here. Sobek actually clears the minion wave, forcing out the ultimate for pretty much free there, and that's a good decision made from Apollo there, just in case he does get pulled back in.
His ultimate was forced specifically because Apollo dashed into the knockback, which reduced the range at which he could escape, so sort of needed to use it there, and that was a good use of his ultimate. I mean, he's not going to go over.
Where's Giannis going?
And rotate. Where is Giannis going?
He
Good
went
question.
on Merry Adventures to check the speed buff and actually found Carly in the back harpies, and then immediately went, nope, peace, I'm out, gonna rotate back to middle lane. Sentinel comes out from Scylla, she's back to tower safety. They were looking for a speed invade here, correct, but they're gonna be too late for it.
On the right-hand side, Nemesis, wants that speed buff, not going to do anything with it. Yanis rotating over, and Kali's just going to hold solo lane. Kali is a pretty good jungler to hold lanes, has very, very good clear.
We see the first gank of the game coming out because it looks like Carly is a little bit overextended here. Going to get slowed, has to jump away, and that's a disengage from there. The leap enough to get the distance off, and Sausage with pretty low mana pool there wasn't much he could really follow up with.
Well, the thing about Kali is ganking her is very difficult, because if she doesn't want to fight you... Oh, in the middle lane though, pulled out of tower.
Oh, it's a shame. Unstable Vortex. If that would have connected for the double, I think she would have been on like 10 HP, but only the single side of it did connect there, so no follow-up from that one. At the moment though, Golden Experience slightly in favour of Wasted Talent now. 1500 experience, 350 gold. That's just down to those mid-camps realistically.
It is. It's a very slight difference, but heavy rotation coming out on the left-hand side. Apollo is an escape artist, and he's gonna have to use everything to get out of this. We'll avoid the banish. Needs to dodge the pluck, and he does.
Mez. And gets out of trouble. It was a big rotation, but the good news is there wasn't anything on the map that could have been taken or abused in that situation there, as Collie had back to base as well. Still 3 left over, looking for the blue invade, but Collie's over here, going to go for the stun, put some damage on. Tail Whip comes out. New War ultimate as well to try and follow up, and Apollo's gone to the sky here. They're going to chase in.
Yeah, he's going to come down, but doesn't really find a good target. Cherio in the mix as Kali jumps out. It's a nice ultimate from Sylvanas, but just going to buy some time. Scylla on the backline will find big damage and get first blood, but she's now in a bad position as Dark Yod takes down Kurosentu with the help of that destruction ultimate, and it's a 2-0 for Wasted Talent.
Yeah, that was all down to Scylla's I'm a Monster that connected with Giannis as he came through the portal. Just bad time, unfortunate timing more than anything. They could potentially be looking for the Gold Fury here by the way they're rotating now, but I guess mid-camps have just spawned, so going to rotate for those instead. 2 quick kills, 1 for Carly of all people, and 1 for Scylla. Those gods you do not want to give early kills to, for sure.
You really don't. The thing about Scylla, she has a bad early game, but the moment you get 1 kill, maybe even 2, her bad early game accelerates and you hit mid game. And her mid game's okay. It could be better, leaves a little bit to be desired, but sitting at level 10 and really looking for level 13 to 14 to come online. I mean, Vizek's not far. In the solo lane, Death Panther, just not really worried about anything. The Sun Wukong isn't able to apply enough damage because he doesn't have that little extra penetration from the Warrior Tubby and isn't leveling his 1. So Nuwa can just chill.
Yeah, I mean, Nuwa can just farm under the tower quite happily if she needs to. And what she's able to bring here as well, Craig, is the fact that she can use that global ultimate to still influence fights and not have to leave the lane. So she doesn't lose any lane pressure. This Kali's looking for something in mid lane here. As Giannis is a little overextended, he's just used portal. That's when Kali jumps in now. Gonna look for the combo. Good stun, good damage out. Giannis needs to use them through space and time. Will the bleed be enough? It will. And there's another kill for Kali and an assist once again for Scylla. Gold Fury looks like it's being looked at. Oh, Nuwa got that as well. Wow.
Yeah, I love that they're using the Nuwa ultimate as part of their initial burst. Even in ganks, we saw it on the left-hand side onto Freya when Kali jumped in to help contest the blue, and we saw it there. Great play coming out from Nuwa, and getting those assists is just going to put her ahead in lane, though she only did get 1. Freya did not turn into an assist for Nuwa.
I mean, the one thing I wanted to point out about the play, that was really nice decision making from the Kali there, because Kali waited for the portal to go on cooldown first of all, knowing that was the escape that Giannis would generally use. He forced him, when he saw the portal down onto Scylla, he immediately jumped in, went for the engagement, and picked up a really nice kill before he could channel that through space and time and get out.
Well, Nemesis, once again, looking to invade the jungle, has been pinged out, and Kali's going to rotate in. Kali up 3 levels on your jungler is horrible news. That's when you know the game is not going well for you.
Well, she's only 1,100 gold short right now. Actually, 1,000 gold short of having her chins finished. That's a lie, because she's only got Balance Blade. She's a little bit further off than 1,000 gold. I think it's 1,500 gold shy just now.
Lying to me, Hindu.
I can't help it, I'm
Sensitive.
sorry. Sorry, I can't. So big though, left hand side, gonna come in again, take some free poke damage, thanks to the root, but he immediately heals that back up. No further aggression there. This is gonna come down to a battle of the mid laners and junglers, I feel. Correct. By the way, this one's playing out already. Like, Duo's just gonna continue to farm up, and relatively no one's gonna die there, and Sun Wukong and Nuwa, they're gonna have a happy old dancey time of farming until late game.
Okay, so here's the thing. Nuwa should be more impactful in fights than Sun Wukong is. Unless Wasted Talent doesn't have enough frontline. Do you think they will have enough frontline in these fights?
Oh, I'm not so sure. I mean, Nemesis, Sun Wukong, and they've got Sobek. That's a lot of frontline, especially with the CC being provided as well. But right now, ooh, looks like the left-hand Harpies do go once again in favor of Wasted Talent. Right one's going to go again in favor of Wasted Talent, and that's 3 sets of mid-camps in a row that have all gone in Wasted Talent's favor. And that's just, you know, free experience that they're getting over their opponents.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of free experience as well, and is a big part of the now 4,000 experience lead in favor of Wasted Talent off of only 3 kills. They're doing very well right now. Nemesis forced back, and they don't realize it, but this is a gold fury opportunity, as Qin did recall at a little bit of an awkward time, and at the very least, maybe they could find some bait opportunity.
Very good wall coverage as well coming out from Wasted Talent here. They're all hanging around in the areas. Scylla's going to watch herself a little bit in mid there, but with a Sentinel, she'll get herself out of any potential trouble available to her. What do you do as Nemesis in this game right now? I mean, you're behind a couple of levels on this Kali that you already know about, 3 levels down. Do you farm, or do you try and like pick off pick off Sylvanas, something like that? Like, you know he's a viable target for you? Is it just too risky and just try and farm up?
Sylvanas isn't making the aggressive plays that you would need to catch him off. He's not really pushing his advantage, so yeah, it's just farming. Cherio just needs to hard farm until he can catch up a little bit and get the Jotans. And then I think with the Jotans, that's when you start ganking on cooldown, but at this point it might be a little bit too late for that.
Well, wall coverage right now from Team Intoxicated, you can see on the map, I can see 8 different wards down for them now. So they're trying to play the vision game and keep Kali pinned down and try and get themselves farmed back up to catch this little difference right now. But the problem is all these early wards, these wards down at the moment, that's a lot of gold there. 8 wards, 400 gold.
Yeah, it's a lot of gold, and over warding when you're behind. It's a difficult dance to play, you know. You don't want to ward too much. Sun Wukong's never really caught, is the thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's still got his ultimate available as well, but now Yana's going to try and catch out Scylla rotating around. He should have an idea that they've got a ward there, though, because of the way she juked back. But we'll find out as we wait around now. As junglers continue to farm up mid lane, it's a slow-paced game now because everyone's realised Kali is a very, very big threat in this one. But the problem is, the longer they keep going with this crap, the bigger Kali's going to get, because those chins are coming around soon.
I'm not really sure these wards from Intoxicated are all getting useful. I mean, they're watching the on the left-hand lane, Freya getting very low.
She has to have to use the ultimate. Good flip from Sobek coming out. Kali still wants to go in though. Apollo and Duval from Death Panther. Now Qin's in trouble as well. He'd already used his peel to try and keep Freya alive, and she drops us a double kill over in that left-hand lane. Now, though, in mid lane, Scylla does take a lot of poke damage. Good Aegis coming out from Giannis there, using the through space and time. He tried to 180 no-scope that, I feel, and try and hit them with it in the face. Didn't pay off for them. But now they're going to go for this Gold Fury. Mid Harpies are available. Only Nemesis here. Going to actually ult in and get CC'd up insanely. And that Gold Fury's going to go to Wasted Talent. Intoxicated are in a lot of trouble now. Mid Harpies also going to go once again in Wasted Talent's favour. Yana should really look for these right ones, otherwise they're giving up a lot again in this fight.
Interesting that Nemesis tried to use Fist of the Gods to secure that objective there. All right, I mean, if that was a support, we would have said, well, yeah, I mean, that's worth it. You kill yourself for a chance of getting the objective. But on a jungler that's already behind, I'm not so sure.
I think that was a decision they probably could have done differently. I mean, they had both mid-harpies available. They could have just taken them because they knew they weren't going to be able to contest it enough. Giannis had already used his through space and time as well, so there was no burst damage potential from them. And 4v2, it's a difficult ask.
Definitely is. On the right-hand side, Nuwa still farming up, level 15, and yeah, she's down a little bit. Well, she was down a little bit of gold from Sun Wukong, not so much anymore. But I don't think it really would have mattered if Sun Wukong, now that he's starting to get aggressive, Nuwa can just safe clear with the fog, right? You can just throw it at the wave and it'll tag the minions at the very least. You're not losing experience or gold.
14 minutes in this game. Carly now is 2-0-3. Has Warrior, Tabby, and Chins finished. This is going to start getting rougher before it gets any potentially better for Team Intoxicate right now. They're trying to ward up still and keep the ward coverage high just to keep an eye out for the rotations. But that fight on Duo Lane really cost them quite a lot there.
Really did. 6-0, and I mean, the gold lead is nice at this point, but Wasted Talent now needs to convert it into towers. They're at the point where they need to push their advantages. Scylla's online, level 15. We'll take a lot of damage from Yanis there.
Wukong's going to have his ult forced onto him there by Carly. He actually caught him with the stun as she transformed into the bird form. So that's going to be on cooldown there. Keep an eye on Carly. She might try and stick around this area again looking for a pick. But Sun Wukong wisely going to base here. Nemesis is going to watch herself. But now that she's pinned, looks like left-hand side, there's some aggression coming out. Giannis looking for something with the help of Sobek. Nothing's going to come of it. New wall comes out. And a bit of a disengage, but they've got to be careful because Carly's coming.
Yeah, and Kali could do a lot here if she can catch out Yanis. Portal is gone. So frustrating.
I mean, if she realised that, she could have jumped over and then potentially stunned afterwards, but it's not the easiest thing to do. And Giannis, yeah, he's frustrating to play against because of that mobility. And everyone knows. You should know there's a ward there now, and now his portal will be up again, and he'll be back out of trouble after Ian has Lash.
Yeah, Yanis, though, going Pen Boots into Book of Thoth, that's a lot of damage. Nearly... He actually could combo kill Scylla, I believe, if he landed a 1-2-4 combo, which is notoriously difficult to do.
Wasted Talent did the best to try and get as much poke damage on that middle tower as they could. Not a lot, though. Left-hand Harpies are flashing. They are respawning right now. Right ones will follow soon after. Apollo getting a bit of free farm time in this lane over at the moment as Freya returns to that one. Checking the golden experience, 8,000 experience lead for Wasted Talent now, 4,500 gold lead as well. And Gold Fury down for about another minute and a half. Looks like Sobek needs to just watch his position a little bit here. He might have to use Charge Blade. They're looking for speed, but they're just a little bit too late for a Wasted Talent.
Blue is up, and Dark Yard should be able to start that. Freya on her way over has used Banished. Duo kill down in the right-hand side, but it's 4 on the left, and Freya's going to go down. Yeah, they might have got a new wall, but Gold Fury at the very least should... Gold Fury is down, but the towers should go the way of Wasted Talent if they want to push their advantage.
This is a good call from Intoxicate right now. Gold Fury is down for a little while longer. They've got to get some free time on this tier 1 tower on the right-hand side. They will take the first tower of the game here. It's going to give them some gold, some experience as well to allow them to get back into it. They're immediately back in as well as they know Gold Fury is a potential threat if they don't come back sooner. And the good news is on the left-hand side, Team Intoxicate didn't die. Freya survived that fight. She didn't end up going down in it, which is really, really big for them to not give anything up for that free tower pickup.
I'm not giving anything up yet. This mid tower should fall, as Kali should have enough damage here, and coming into contest is going to be very difficult ask, but actually CCG down. Dark Yod could have maybe hit like a second to use his ultimate there, but wasn't able to get it. Nice rush coming out and just barely surviving. Will get killed by the magic cudgel. Ataxi trying to escape under tower. Apollo with the great disruption. Tower onto Sausage. Good shell. Ataxi trying to get out, but Jojo will fall, and Nuwa only now just showing up. Does not have the ultimate.
They're going to get the tier 1 tower in middle lane. Gold Fury spawning in 4 seconds time. Only the support and Nuwa are available right now. Looks like Ren's going to go back to base and buy his Freya, but they should have the burst damage to bring this down with some Wukong here. We'll see, because Nuwa's coming and she's got burst potential. They're going to have to juggle this aggro nicely. No, they're going to have to give it up. Indeed, they're just going to take the tier 1 tower and run away. That was a big fight for them. You can see the jump on the graph there, back towards the positive side for Intoxicate. That was a really big fight for them, and it was all down to taking Carly out very quickly. She didn't even use ultimate.
No, she had maybe half a second to use it and just couldn't find the ultimate. Just got CC chained down real quick. Unfortunately, Intoxicated did not feel that they could go for the Gold Fury. Just didn't feel they had enough sustained damage, which they're probably correct about.
It was risky, for sure.
Yeah, it was. At this point, I think Kali just needs to finish beads and not let that happen again.
Well, they're still trying Gold Fury here at the moment. I mean, oh, they were just claiming our ward. I do apologise. Like, let's try Gold Fury again. But nope. Sentry ward goes down. Sentry ward clears the ward at Gold Fury. So map control for now around the Gold Fury is in favour of a team Intoxicate. But you can already see Sylvanas trying to get in there and start placing a ward if he so needs. Kali's coming with that Sentry now and that grouping. That'll be Gold Fury control going over in favour of Wasted Talent. Mid Harpies on the left due to spawn now. You can see the time differential between these two Harpies is huge now, due to the fact that one wasn't taken for quite a while. Cuman's going to try and contest these. Bit risky though, he's going to watch himself. Now he's got backup of his team.
So I just got word from the admins that Aquila has been eliminated in the first round. So it turns out our seeding was correct.
Well, it appears seeding was correct. They were only seeded 14th. Kali did go in for a bit of aggression now onto Freya, but instead she took a flip and a bit of poke coming out from Sausage as well on this Sun Wukong. Going to force her back, but some Wisps will heal her up a little bit more. Does look like Intoxicate want to go more aggressive here. They're looking to try and get Gold Fury control here, maybe potentially start a fight. They're just trying to find a pick at the moment.
Just trying to find a pick. It could be on the Sylvanas, who's taking a lot of damage from Freya, but Freya will be rooted by that passive. Now blue buff, potentially contestable. Cheerio's going to start it. Oh, Yana is caught out.
He's dead. He's dead. He's not going to get out of that full combination coming out. Even use the Aegis as well to try and buy time. Paul doesn't land. Apollo going aggressive though on the left-hand side against Sausage. Actually defends his blue buff there, which is important. They're so beautiful. Does connect. But with that man advantage now, they're starting to push in mid and pressure this Gold Fury one more time. Intoxicate need to group up here, but they're going to give up a tier 1 tower at least for now.
Well, Gold Fury has been started by Wasted Talent. Here's Kali zoning out. Gold Fury reset real quick, and Wasted Talent really need to use this advantage that they have. There's Gold Fury started yet again. Nemesis has used the double dash. That should be an engage, like right now. They really should just blink in. They didn't hear it.
Your middle tower.
Okay,
or see it.
A reset, but a tower for free and a free pickup in favour of Wasted Talent keeps them in the driving seat for this one. They also have the Gold Fury control as well, just for the time being. Actually, I like because they just centured it, so Intoxicate have the Gold Fury control for now. Red buff is available right on the Harpies due to spawn soon. And we're back to farming again and looking for that next pick.
Yeah, back to farming. Nuwa sitting at level 19. Has come online. Apollo and Kali both have their chin size, and so this is a big power spike for Wasted Talent. They just do need to use it. Sobek and Sun Wukong will die very quickly if they find themselves out of position.
Sobek just playing very passively in this lane right now as Freya has returned to base there. Just to buy a couple more items, has her Haste and Fatality online and Witchblade and Medjai's. Nearly finished that Demonic Grip, and that's when we'll start to see Freya hitting her stride. Already level 17 as well, so not doing too bad for herself, but Apollo level 18 across the way with Devour's Gauntlets and Chins online as well. So it looks like he's going for the Unicorn style of build. Potentially.
No, that's a mace. I don't know what that is.
Could this be the Zapman build? The Zapman variation?
No, I think he goes Executioner after Chins.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, left-hand side, Gold Fury once again having the wards cleared out. Poor sentry wards dying all the time these days. Mid Harpies gonna get reset there actually. They don't actually get taken down at all. Both still alive. Sausage gonna come in and probably try and clean these ones up. And everyone's just patiently waiting around here. With Sausage being on the side of the map, though, it does give Nuwa some potential time to take this tier 1 tower. But with this man advantage now, you can see they've started the Gold Fury. Nice bit of poke damage coming out from Scylla there onto Sausage. Churro actually uses the dash on Nemesis. Gonna ult onto Scylla. Scylla does get hit by the fist as well, so she can't send out. But you can see a lot of damage onto Nemesis, who's gonna survive for now. But Apollo's in the sky. He's gonna look for the dunk onto him. Not gonna find it. Meanwhile, Sausage does take out Kali, which is an important kill. But can Apollo find one in response? The flip's gonna buy time. The body blocking is real to try and make sure they keep him alive in the backline. Beads has been forced. The chase is still onto Apollo. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Giannis does find a kill onto Scylla, and all that stands there is Sylvanas. Can they pick up Apollo is the question. Portal through, unstable vortex, no, straight into a mess, so beautiful. He does go down. Can they get the Gold Fury now? It looks like they should, but 2 towers left-hand side, go in favor of Wasted Talent.
I think that just ended up even, honestly, and the only reason it did is Kali once again just didn't use her ultimate in time. Now Ataxi in the mix, trying to get this Gold Fury, and
he's a hero.
Might be able to force a reset. Nah, not
But
quite.
he's not the hero they needed.
Just the hero they wanted, yeah.
I mean, if you check into the gold charts and the experience, now you can see the dips and sways between it. But I mean, a tier 2 tower is relatively exactly the same as a Gold Fury, isn't it? In terms of gold.
Yes, yeah,
And
1500 gold for tier 2
experience-wise,
and for Gold Fury.
slightly in favor of a Gold Fury, I think. Experience-wise.
Yeah, I don't think towers gives experience.
They do give a little bit of experience.
Really?
Yep. Towers give a little bit of experience. Surprisingly enough to the whole team. But Gold Fury, I think, just gives a little bit more. I'm pretty certain I'm right about that. Otherwise, I'd just be randomly leveling when people have killed towers before in the past, and I'm down with that if it's just my client doing that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's just you, Andrew, man.
So, it's 8-8 in terms of this game right now. Golden experience, like we were just talking about, 2.8k experience lead for Wasted Talent. 2,000 gold lead for them as well. But the game is starting to get a bit mishmashy. Right-hand lane only has one tier 2 tower remaining, and that's on the side of the Wasted Talent. Left-hand side, all towers still remaining. In mid lane, tier 1 towers have dropped, so the map has really opened up a lot. Expect more war coverage coming out. And at 25 minutes in this game, correct, you're going to start seeing a lot of burst damage, so people will disappear relatively quickly.
Just to clear that point up, it is 200 experience and 300 gold per person for both a tier 2 tower and a Gold Fury. So they're exactly the same. Yeah.
Good to know. There we go. Told you, Craig. Told you.
You're right, man.
Yeah, yeah, you don't know everything, Mr. Mathematician Boy.
Dude, I never even claimed to be able to do math.
I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm just happy I got something right.
You're happy. You did it.
That makes me happy. I knew something you didn't
You're the
know.
best. Oh. You bet. You're the best.
Freya's going to find a banish onto Apollo, bit of poke damage down. She's starting to do a lot with that demonic grip now and Hasten Fatalis combination online, especially with a Witchblade as well. She can trade pretty well against Apollo, just not that easily.
Yeah.
I mean, she used to have a harder time in this matchup just because of the Serenade that used to come out, and it used to give him magical protections on Apollo, but now that's been taken away, it does allow this matchup to be slightly more favourable for Freya.
Well, Apollo also not electing the unicorn build will be slightly behind in terms of lifesteal, so he'll have a little bit more trouble staying in lane against Freya. Still able to sustain up, but dueling becomes a bit harder.
Really good work from Intoxicated this game, in fairness. I mean, they got behind very, very early. They had to deal with a Kali with chins that came online a lot quicker than you'd normally expect. And since then, they've been able to weather the storm, win a couple of skirmishes, and actually get themselves a Gold Fury back as well. So Gold Furies are now tied up as well. So, relatively even game still, and can still go either way. I mean, late game, who do you think's got potential? Kali Scylla, do you reckon stronger than Giannis Freya?
Yeah, but Kali has not had a good time of pressing her ultimates this game. If she gets comboed down, the fight is drastically in favor of Intoxicated.
Well, the war coverage has now begun. The ward party shenanigans have begun at the Fire Giant. Freya and Apollo continuing to farm off in this lane as the rest of the teams just edge the bets around this Fire Giant, trying to catch somebody out of position. And Kieran at the moment needs to watch himself as his team's not really with him there, but he is so back, so he shouldn't be too bad to get out of, as everyone just continues to farm up and wait for the mistake to happen.
Just waiting. Oh, Jojo taking a lot of damage into that tower from Freya. Not getting rotated on too heavily, so just gonna have to try and hold his ground, but Hi-Rez is really in a good position in this lane right now. He's got a lot of control. Nuwa rotating over to the left-hand side. Scylla has just recalled, so there is a significant map pressure disadvantage from Wasted Talent right now.
These two teams are relatively even, quite honestly. Like, you can see by the playstyles and stuff, this is a really, really close game for a round one game for these guys to have to face off against each other. They've both got equal amounts of skill on their lineups, and the way they've been playing, it shows that this could be a very long one. We could be in for a long game where a Fire Giant could be the difference.
Oh, I need some hot cocoa. That's all I want when I'm watching a long game. Just
Good
a nice hot chocolate.
Good casting. Talk about that game. Cocoa. Very important, guys.
Yo, I'm
you're
in love
watching
with
the
it.
games, have cocoa. 27 minutes in. We're hanging around as Collie's going aggressive onto Sausage. Sausage is going to back off on this Sun Wukong. Doesn't have to worry too much as long as he doesn't get forced out of bird form with the stun from Kali. And it looks at the moment that Wasted Talent, the ones in position around the Fire Giant, better off. There's a couple of deep wards though from Intoxicated that give a vision of Kali's positioning, so they don't have to worry about the Fire Giant being started up. And with Apollo not leaving lane yet, Apollo leaving lane could be the potential of him, if he ults out, that they could try and rush this fire. But it's too early and too close.
I want to mention the curious choice from Nuwa to go for a Spirit Robe. using the 10% CDR in it to cap out CDR, tank up a little bit, covers up the weak magic protections of mages, just the base values. And that passive is shockingly underestimated. I mean, generally people CC you before they kill you, and taking 50% less damage for 3 seconds is huge.
Yeah, very, very true. Especially when you're trying to go up into your ultimate as well. I mean, with fire shots being one that takes you off the map, gives you immunity as you're doing it.
Yeah.
Taking less damage so you can get to the sky and reposition yourself. Oh, Freya needs to watch herself here. She's going to get clapped on from Scylla. Apollo's around the side as well. She might be able to get back to town, but Carly's here. And with that body shot cooldown, she's going to have to force heal. Beads is down. Thanks to the stun, trying to trade backwards. Carly trying to force the ultimate, then takes to the sky the ultimate, but Apollo's in the sky as well. Valkyrie's discretion is used up. The Aegis does not buy enough time. Carly survives, and Cuban's going to run away. But meanwhile, on the backside, Giannis comes in, so does Sausage, and Carly does get dropped, and now the attention turns onto Jojo, who should be able to get out of trouble here as this Apollo. But the fight, which was a Freya game picked, turns in favor of Intoxicate once again.
Yeah, Freya just didn't die quick enough, really, in that Witchblade helping out. A little bit strange to see one on Sun Wukong as well, but yeah, I would have just preferred to see a more serious physical protection item in that slot instead of going for a Witchblade. Smithy's hammer, maybe Runeforce hammer.
Yeah, I mean, with how that is right now, I mean, it's a possibility. Did you still go for it now?
No, I think he needs damage now, and going into Shin size is definitely the correct decision. Sun Wukong, early game, can get by on doing damage with his abilities, but late game, if you just don't have enough damage in your kit, he has damage values similar to Odin. It's not enough to get you a kill.
Right now, just checking in with Scylla, who has respawned. She has Book of Thoth stacked up, Medjai's Bancross, and Obsidian Shard. Looks like she's working on Rodder Tahuti next. She is level 20, one of the first ones to reach it in the game. Across the way, Apollo, Brawler's Beatstick. It was the decision he made there on that one. So he is technically going for the Unicorn build, just in a different order.
If it's in the wrong order, it's not my build, and I take no responsibility.
Well, we'll see if it does pay off for him in this one. Sobek, though, does have Wing Wand online. I like that pickup on him just because of the slows that he's going to be affected by. Will allow him to speed back up. Also going for a Void Stone as well, which is one item on a support that you generally don't see too much, but it does allow them to do increased damage and also reduce the resistances of the people they're around, so allowing Giannis to do even more bursts. And on top of that, Freya. But Freya, talking about her, finds a solo kill onto Jojo. Going to get rotated by multiple members. His discretion is on cooldown now. He's just trying to farm up, buy time, wait patiently. Going to eat a nice crush to the face, and there's a cripple. And there's a big through space and time. Now the connection with Scylla, so Scylla's going to watch your positioning. Nemesis comes in and ults immediately onto Carly. Carly's the focus, she's jumped away. The dashing from Nemesis, and Sobek's got aggro now. But Carly still stands strong, and the monster does get popped, but doesn't find anyone. Sausage just forced him back on the beats. Oh, the overhand does connect, but not enough. But meanwhile, Carly survives. Her ult is still available. Sausage going to come back in to try and find this kill. Going to find it thanks to Cuban with the tail whip. And now with Nuwa here, now this fight is getting crazy. Cuban's going to drop here to the fog. No, she's not. He's going to get away for now, but how long?
Yeah, Cuban just surviving by the skin of his wardstone, really. That extra little bit of magic protection saving his life. That was such a strange fight as Scylla's ultimate. If it had connected a little bit better, or Kali missed her jump, might have or didn't miss her jump, might have really turned that fight. But Intoxicated winning the fight, losing the war as Gold Fury has been started, and it's going to be a little difficult to contest. They don't have a Hand of the Gods 3 until Sobek gets here, but there's also very low sustained damage coming out from Wasted Talent, right? Oh, there's Apollo, and that changes everything.
He forces a big lot of damage onto Giannis. Giannis in a lot of trouble. Gonna get taken down by the fire shot. Sausage has to get out of trouble. Only Q in here. And can he find this? No, he cannot. Wasted Talent get the Gold Fury. They're going to try and chase onto him, but Charge Prey comes out for the disengage. So now the gold lead is 2.6k, but experience is even.
Yeah.
That fight was just... That fight before the Gold Fury was the big crazy one, in all honesty. Like, Freya got his solo kill into Apollo. I think Wasted Talent did the best out of that, honestly, correct? Because they managed to get themselves from a 4v5 scenario into a winning scenario where they got Gold Fury.
Well, Kali going for speed buff should be able to get that, and we still... Alright, so here's the thing out of the composition from Wasted Talent. They've got Scylla and Kali, and both those gods, if they find the perfect team fight, if they play it properly, will kill everybody. They've got 2 chances to do that. We haven't seen it yet. I don't think we've actually even seen a reset from I'm a Monster. But
we have
one
not
day,
so far.
Eventually,
everyone
You're gonna
says
find
this,
one
like,
of those fights.
everyone says this, like, you forget about I'm a monster until it actually destroys the whole team. That's the potential that skill has on its own, especially in the late stages. And with her slowly building towards this Rod of Tahuti right now, how much gold she's on? She's at 1900 gold, so she's closing in on it right now. If she does go for Rod, then she's going to have a lot of damage available to her from that. Actually going to go for the Kronos Pendant. Surprising just because she's got the Book of Thoth online. I guess she wants the cooldowns more than anything.
Your right tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Chronos Pendant on Syl is actually really nice because you've got a very short recycle time and it makes it a little bit shorter. So you can just get out those extra few spells going from 10-second cooldown to 8-second cooldown. And really, getting your first set of spells on a mage off is great. Taking the second and the third set off, that's what wins you the team fights.
Left-hand side, Freya aggressing onto Apollo again. Apollo having to try and juke out as many abilities as he can, but that tower's going to fall relatively soon, probably in the next wave, if it keeps going like that. Everybody else, though, still positioned around this fire giant. It's the only global objective available right now, at least contestable, as Freya continues to try and push this wave in. Nobody's rotating over. But keep an eye on that, because as soon as Apollo does get aggressed on by Freya one more time, I expect a big rotation from both teams again.
To be honest, I think Apollo needs to leave this lane and just go have a presence on the map. He is holding the 1v1, but not winning it, and having trouble with his threat, and he'd be doing a lot better if he could just go somewhere else and be a threat.
Pretty patient time once again. I think both teams sizing each other up again. They've realised, like we said at the beginning, we know during this cast as well, is that these teams are pretty evenly matched, and that's why everyone's been very, very passive. Sausage with this teleport has actually put it to semi-decent use for these rotations over and being able to keep this lane pushed up against New War, so New War can't get to the Phoenix. She still has that tier 2 tower advantage though, and that's 300 gold and some experience that's available still on the side of Intoxicated to take.
Fire Giant probably going to be what decides this game, and both teams know it. They're warding around it. Your boy Sylvanas just leaving a nice little trail of flowers wherever he goes. KP tweeted a while ago. The designer who designed Sylvanas tweeted, "What if I told you that the amount of time Sylvanas' trail lasts is an intentional decision?" Which is such an interesting balancing point.
I'd never considered that.
Giving a god a trail as a point of balance. It's so interesting.
Such a small little detail. And people, I mean, some Sylvanas players complain about how long he stayed on the ground for. Because you can follow him, shockingly enough.
Yeah. Follow the grass road.
Follow the yellow brick road to an extent, and now they've got Fire Giant being dewarded again by Team Intoxicate. Freya still split pushing Apollo, heading back to that lane once again. Freya should be able to get this tower, I think, before Apollo can get back. I'm not too sure. Paul comes out, though, on the right from Sylvanas. Doesn't find Sausage, who immediately bird forms away. Carly's looking to back here at the moment, probably to complete some more of that rage that she looks like she's building towards right now. Short sword now online. And it's really passive to an extent. It's not nastily passive. Jojo's in a lot of trouble though. He takes a lot of poke out that has to use the Serenade and the moves. And now he's going to get chased on by Freya again. As the pulse comes back off cooldown, she's just going to continue pressuring this lane, forcing a rotation from someone eventually. And it's so nice to see Apollo being the one that's being aggressed on in that lane, you know, and not being pushed into his own tower, not the other way around.
Sure, but to be honest, I just think Wasted Talent needs to use their global presence, right? They've got 4 people on the right side of the map. They need to hard engage if Apollo ults in and just fight the 5v4 because Freya's rotation is going to take 15 seconds. That's plenty of time to get a few kills when you outnumber your opponents. Instead, Apollo's just sort of having trouble under tower, and it's not really working out for him.
Well, Apollo has reached full build now, though. Has gone for the Unicorn build, as expected. So, keep an eye on him enjoying the fights, because he will burst targets. As you can see, Ren's now on this Freya has transversed mid to pick up some extra farm there before rotating back left to make sure Apollo does not get that tier 1 for free. It's not been a safe game, and it's not been a slow game, but at the same time, it's starting to be that way because everybody's just so scared of getting picked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting pretty scary. At this point, I don't know.
The longer it goes, the longer the respawn time is when you die. The threat of the end is potential at 40 minutes in the game, especially if you're Team Intoxicate when you've got an exposed Phoenix on this right-hand side as well. One team could push in and end. relatively quickly, especially with the amount of damage both teams have.
The one thing that's bothering me is we're 40 minutes in and both solo laners only have one active. You just get a heavenly agility or something.
But they've not. Neither of them have died that much. Like there's
Yeah,
one
but it's
death
not
between
about
the two of them.
them. It's about the team.
That's true. No, I do agree. I mean, I think that's just the mindset they have. They've not had the threat of dying. Generally, when it comes to actives, you see a lot of people purchase them when they die. And they're like, "Oh, I wish I had this active because it would have been helpful in this situation." Ah, I'm dead. I will buy that now because I have the gold.
Well, the difference between a good team and a great team is foresight. Buying what you need before you need it.
Foresight indeed. And talking about foresight, you can see the amount of wards being picked up by both these teams ready to continue contesting Fire Giant. Gold Fury, though, is available. And there's a sentry ward there down by Wasted Talent. Apollo could swing by that and chop it to pieces before anyone relatively realise here. He could potentially go for that, but first of all, he's going to take down that tower. And with the full Unicorn build, it's not going to last very long.
Hey, yeah, towers die real quick. Gold Fury, not so much, though. I mean, he doesn't really have the objective damage he needs to take that out super quick. It won't do any damage to him whatsoever, so he can definitely be a threat there. But it's not going to die fast, and Freya will be able to show up and stop him, yeah. Scylla's on the way over, though.
Oh, she's not seen it. Freya's not seen it. Freya's just rotated straight for the fight. She's not actually seen him do the Gold Fury. She might go back and find out, but Scylla's going to be there, like you're just saying. And that Gold Fury's going to be dead before she gets over. In the jungle, though, Carly trading off with Nemesis. Nemesis going to dash away. A disengage happening from both teams, but Gold Fury going to go in favor of Wasted Talent. In mid lane, Scylla's caught out of position here. Her Sentinel is now on cooldown. Has to use the Iron Monster to try and speed her up, but Freya with the Valkyrie's discretion. That was 3 ultimates for her. And now Carly's in the mix. What can she do to try and turn this one around? Gets instantly bursted, but pops the ultimate in time this time around. She's looking for a kill. Has to jump away as Cuban comes in. But the duck down from Jojo turns that fight immensely thanks to Death Panther's burst. Jojo's going to get a double kill on that one. He's going to look for Nemesis as well, who gets ulted by the Sylvanas. The dot damage is being applied. Great pull coming out. That's the first one we've really seen come out from a taxi, and that was enough to secure a fire giant.
That made it all worth it. That one pull made it all worth it. It was
that's why you
beautiful.
Yeah, you do those pulls. 95% of the time they miss, but that 1-5% chance that hits could be a game changer.
It was. I mean, that's Fire Giant. It's on. Almost everyone won't be on Scylla, but at this point, she kind of has enough magic power. Yeah,
she just used dash as well to try and get in there and close the gap for the fire. Dia side, look at the respawn times. Like I was saying, it's a long time at 40 minutes in the game. This is a Phoenix minimum. If not 2, I wouldn't say potentially end here, it's a bit risky, but they can get a Phoenix or 2 here.
Honestly, I would have liked to see them. They need to get something else. Okay, so right Phoenix, and the thing is, that's going to give enough gold to Scylla. I don't know if he's going to take advantage of it, but it's going to give enough gold to Scylla to finish Rod of Tahuti. And when you're sitting at Rod of Tahuti just finished, so there you go. Yeah. That extra little bit of a global gold helping her out, and that's really scary because you've got a Scylla who has 750 magic power before red buff for Fire Giant.
How quickly at 40 minutes in the game can a game change? Well, this was balanced on a knife edge, and one team fight going in favor of Wasted Talent has seen Intoxicate's towers all fall down, 2 Phoenixes as well, Fire Giant online, and that's a long time with this buff for them to go back to base, buy items, and then siege this left-hand side.
Yeah, left-hand side is definitely going to be the, well, I mean, it's the only place they can really siege, but it's going to be very hard for Intoxicated to hold, and thinking about the perfect team fight, how do you play it? Because here's the thing. Sun Wukong, not tanky enough to deal with Wasted Talent. Sobek, not tanky enough. They will both die if they try to be at frontline, so instead, Intoxicated needs to dive and get kills. But
I think,
can they do that?
That's the problem. I think Scylla is definitely the big target to try and take out Scylla. I mean, the problem is Scylla, you leave New War alone for a long time, she's going to get a lot of burst damage out. Carly's going to be on the front line trying to chop down your tanks, or even your back line. And then it's like, who do you burst? Like, do you go for Scylla Apollo? It's not an easy call.
I'd like to point out that Death Panther... he actually just... So he had 3,000 gold, bought a purple pot, bought a mega pot, and then bought a girdle of inner power. Or is that support? I think that's support. A girdle of support. So he's a little bit friendlier and,
he's
team-oriented,
nicer.
but...
Team player.
That's gonna hit very hard.
This is going to be a little bit. Also, Apollo has a elixir of power as well as an inventory, so that's going to do a lot of chunk damage down in this next engagement that will happen. Someone's going to get picked, and who will it be? Well, it looks like it's Nemesis who's going to take a lot of. The fist was huge there to stop the dash, and now with the fire shots coming down, that's going to do a lot of burst damage. Not enough to kill though, but he's going to force them back. Meanwhile, Apollo's been allowed to just push in this left-hand side alone, and now they're waiting for the minions to spawn. The team war group on the left-hand side. They can get this Phoenix before anyone can get in position to defend, or can Sobek make something happen?
Yeah, I mean, between Nuwa and Apollo, there's just so much tower killing potential. Nice banish, but where's the follow-up? Team needs to get in there. Death Panther is dead. 2 rights immediately, and that Terra's attack is just a little bit too slow. Kurosendo taking out a Dark God as well. The ultimate not used. Jojo in trouble. Needs to dash away. Will be able to in the middle lane. Sausage is going to take down Vizek, and it's just up to the Apollo. Is he leaving? No, he's going back in. Aegis from Freya. He's going to fall. The Phoenix does not, but the Titan might. Look at the Titan. Look at the Titan. It's taking so much damage. Full wave of fire minions. If it doesn't die, it will 25. Be very low. Apollo can kill that, and you can't stop him.
14% is what the Titan's going to be standing at for now. They have to clear out the minions. They've held for now. The respawn's long enough, though, I believe, for both these Phoenixes to respawn if they push out the lanes, crap. That was a really big fight for Team Intoxicate, keeping themselves in this one. That was a fire giant team as well. They stood at one Phoenix, they held the Phoenix, and they managed to stay in this game. But for how long? They bought themselves a little bit more time to try and catch up in terms of build.
Honestly, it was just a great banish. And
the double banish, yeah.
The disruption... I mean, Sylvanas needed to get in there and ult, and he just did it a second too late. And that turned everything. I mean, also Death Panther probably should have had an Aegis instead of a girdle of support. That would have helped.
Phoenix in mid lane has respawned. Phoenix in right lane.
Soon.
Is about to respawn any second. There it is. That's online. And now with those coming online, once they regen, the Titan will begin regenning as well. Now they're all standing, so they've just got to hold a little bit longer here. Do Team Intoxicate, the Fire Giant is back online soon, and they need to make sure they protect that as well as these weakened Phoenixes.
Honestly, the thing about this game is everyone's at full build. Anything could happen. Also, Apollo didn't use his 3k pot there.
No, he did not. I did not use it at all. Now Fire Giant has begun. It's underway, and it doesn't look like anyone from Team Intoxicate are going to deal with this. I feel... It looks like they just want to hold again at the Phoenixes. They enjoyed the fight at the Phoenixes. It went well for them. They're going to give up the Fire Giant and look to defend their lanes, first of all, against these Fire Minions.
Maybe not.
And then have to fight again. Freya's too far forward here. She goes in, misses the banish, but no one's really chasing her down right now. The team's going to group back up in middle lane as the team of Wasted Talent start to siege. We'll see where they choose to siege, because this middle Phoenix won't take very long. A couple of autos from Apollo will bring it down. It's already weakened anyway. And a pick could change the fight. Blink in, ultimate onto 3 targets. Sausage in trouble, has to use his ultimate to escape. Big crits in the backside from Cardi though, trying to do a lot of damage. Still trying to bring him down. Gotta be able to find Giannis. Chase on to the next target, which is gonna be Freya. Freya uses the Valkyrie's discretion to try and get out. Cardi has to juke away. Still gonna get brought down by Hi-Rez. Q-in on the front line, trying to zone out. Scylla's not really involved in this fight yet, but now she is, and the monster does not connect. The crush does, however. Middle Phoenix falls. Apollo very, very low on this backside as well. And with Sausage back, he's only going to be to defend. There's not many people left standing.
Mid Phoenix is down. Apollo very low on health. Needs to heal up in the jungle, perhaps. Just lifestealing off of a camp should be enough. The Titan's low. Might not be low enough, but it is 4 on 3. Sausage... in trouble. Apollo's going up in his ult. Yeah, if he plays this right. But Vizek is dead. Did not use his Aegis in time. A critical misplay. Shario getting very low. Jojo cannot find the kill and will not quite just yet die to Freya. He will die to Sausage. The pull doesn't connect either.
That wasn't even close.
I think they just threw. I mean, not entirely, but...
It was a mistake, that's for sure. A big mistake. They only get one Phoenix out of that one, so it's going to give time for Intoxicate to get back Giannis back up in 5 seconds' time. Only members of Wasted Talent with Fire Giant here are Sylvanas and Noir. and they're not necessarily the targets you really want it, and it's not bad having it on the new War, in all honesty, but you would have preferred it on Apollo and Scylla, that's for sure, or at least, even Carly as well. But they're going to regen for now. It allows Intoxicate to push out these lanes, clear out their own jungle, get a speed buff for themselves at the least, and everyone is reaching full build.
One of the problems with Sylvanas is also showing up here. His ultimate's amazing, but he doesn't really pack hard CC in his base kit. You've got a root, and that can be nice. It can make the difference, but it's no Athena taunt. It's no Ymir stun. It's not quite as powerful as some of the other hard CCs. So after the ultimate comes out, Wasted Talent is having a little bit too much trouble crowd controlling their opponents.
Do you think Carly should have looked at picking up potentially a Medjai's here instead of going for the full Deathbringer build?
Definitely. Honestly, man, I don't feel like the Rage Deathbringer adds enough damage on Kali to be worth it. Or rather, I feel like you do enough damage without it, that you're better off just getting utility.
I mean, because obviously, trying to burn, she's got beads, then she's got Medjai's, then she's got her ultimate. It's 3 things you have to clear to get out. And you can see that she got to the backline well there. She picked up Yana, she went for another target, but didn't have enough to bring them down, and had to jump out because she had to be careful.
Well, the other thing
is,
burst. Because there's no Fatalis and no Sprint, Kali doesn't have any way to stick to her target. So she gets off 3 auto attacks, that's nice, and they hit hard, but they're not killing. And she can't stick to you to get that kill, so the utility in the build just isn't really there.
Well, the siege is back on once again. Apollo is pushing in mid lane with these fire minions, keeping him busy, while the rest of the team siege this right hand side. He's going to group with his team now and look to pressure this tower with Apollo coming around. The team is sieging up a bit early here. This is a weakened Phoenix. A blink in from Sylvanas does not find anyone with that ultimate. New War fire shots in the sky. Does a little bit of damage. But Apollo's ultimate is now on cooldown as well. And they don't find anything from that one. You can see Carly in the mix though, trying to chop targets down, but she's dropping lower and lower and lower. And everybody from Intoxicated is still alive. And Renz gets a killing spree thanks to that amazing play, and now with the portal coming out from Giannis, he's actually going to find one target. Only one member alive, Apollo. This is a throw.
Yeah, that's Athena side. They can win off that. They have enough damage. They don't need the fire giant. They can just walk right Phoenix. I think they can just straight up win.
I think they can. I mean, with Sobek to tank for them, they could easily do that one. They were looking at Fire Giant now. They are relatively low health, but that's not going to be an issue if they take Q in there with that Sobek to tank up for them. He is full build. They're going to go straight for this middle lane, and they're looking for the peaks in the middle.
I think they're just going to go directly for the throne.
About 33 seconds until we see Scylla back online. 30 seconds until Scylla comes online. The Phoenix is starting to drop now. The minion wave should respawn shortly though, so they might have to deal with that one first before they can do it. And it's a fire minion wave as well. They're taking turns attacking. They're all relatively low. Giannis is going to have to tank this one because there's no shield on Nemesis. They're trying to burst it down. 14 seconds. The Titan's dropping. This should be it. I don't think it's going to be an issue. They'll bring it down because Sausage is there.
Intoxicated takes the win. They held under Phoenix 3 times. Wasted Talent just couldn't find the team fight they needed. They never found the real reset on that I'm a Monster. They never found the big hit. I mean, the blink engage from Sylvanas, eventually once everyone has beads, it's just sort of like, yeah, that hurts, but I'm not getting knocked up. There's no follow-up CC. There's nothing after you build the beads, which I think was the biggest problem in those team fights.
I think
and
the one fight from Team Intoxicate that won them that was that Phoenix defense on left. They had one Phoenix up. They held there against a Fire Giant team, a full Fire Giant team there as well. They held at that Phoenix, and then from there they just slowly grabbed what they could, got themselves back in the game. It took a long time for that game to play out, but it was a really, really close game between these two teams, and these two teams should keep going because I expect to see them, continuing working on stuff like this. They're strong teams overall. They are strong, and when you get strong teams, they look relatively slow-paced games, but it wasn't slow-paced. It was just situational, tactical play from both teams.
Yeah, and in a few cases, it just felt like there were things that were missed that didn't really make sense. Like Divine Ruin on Sylvanas. What healing? There's Lifesteal from Freya, but you don't really need a Divine Ruin for that. You could put something else there. There's just these little things that need
small
to be
little
tweaked.
changes. Small little changes.
Exactly. Itemization and a few other things, but can't wait to see what these teams will do in the future in the next year's next last weekly or whatever we do.
That was only round 1. Next up, round 2. We'll be right back with picks and bans for that one as soon as the guys are into God Select. Champ Select. What am I saying? Be right back.